What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy. You guys are watching Inside the Coils, and I've got a co-host tonight, which you guys all know him. He's the Bang Daddy. We got Nathan from Infinite Possible Pythons with us tonight, guys.
What's up, everybody?
This is part of that change that I had mentioned to everybody that I'm gonna start kind of implementing co-hosts and stuff here and there. It's gonna be basically Nathan and Chris from BNS. Nathan's on deck tonight, so super excited to have Nathan on with me. I think after this, you're kind of booked for the next couple of weekends with other stuff going on, aren't you, bro?
Next 7 weekends.
That just does not sound like you're really looking forward to it. But everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, please. Make sure you guys all hit that thumbs up as well. Definitely ring that notification bell. Greatly appreciate all the support. Tonight, everybody, we are going to be touching on what I consider personally a breakthrough in the hobby and industry. Some people are on the complete opposite side of the fence. I want to say this now. Everybody, if you are tuning in and you are very negative towards this whole thing, please be respectful. Even if you know, everybody's gonna have their opinions. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. If you don't believe the proof that we're going to show you tonight, that's also fine. That's on you. But please be respectful. I know I've read some of these messages and stuff that these guys have gotten, and they were anything but respectful. So you guys all know I don't like doing the drama train crap. That shit doesn't fly here. So please be respectful, everybody. And let's say hi to everybody here real quick. Actually, you know what? We'll bring Nathan, or we're going to call him Nate tonight because we've already got a Nathan. So we're going to bring Nate out from the Odds Life. We're going to bring Hunter out from Sally's Scaleless Reptiles. And we'll say hi to them. And then we'll go through the chat, say hi to everybody, say thanks to our sponsors. You guys know how all that shit rolls. Nate, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, what's up, Jeremy? Nathan, good to be here.
What's up, guys?
Hunter, what's up, dude? Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Greatly appreciate you guys taking, what could be 2 hours of your evening out to hang out with us. Tell us a little bit about this awesome breakthrough. And hopefully some people will open their eyes up a little bit here. But let's say hi to a bunch of the people that are tuning in at the moment. We've got Tara from Voodoo Doll Royals. What's up, Tara? Thanks for tuning in. Nate, you know this guy. We got Phil from Finger Snakes. What's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Phil is actually, I think it was either Phil or Matt, but I think it was Phil was the one that posted about this whole thing in our group chat, which then sparked this whole to be what it is now at the moment. So super thankful, Phil, for you posting that, even bringing it to my attention. And I'm actually very surprised that I'm the first person to try to get you guys to come on a live stream and talk about it. We got Charlie from Gray Rider Reptiles. What's up, Charlie? Thanks for tuning in, bro. Good to see you. Jesse from Musical Pythons. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Jason from Earl's Exotics. What's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Got another Charlie from Regan Renee Royals. What's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. We've got Steven and Courtney from Leviathan Snakes. What's up? Got John and Christine from Triforce Morse. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate seeing you. I did not get my picture that I needed, John. You told me you were going to send me the picture yesterday of that girl, and you didn't send it yet. I'm highly disappointed.
I told them to do it on the same schedule you post your videos, so.
Oh, God. She'll be breeder size by that point. That's probably even better. That's an easier decision to make then. Tammy, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see here. That's everybody. I'm not missing anybody at the moment that I'm. Oh, wait. God. David, what's up? I can't speak tonight. Thank you for tuning in, David. God, that's a tongue twister for some reason at the moment for me. Lisa, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Hey guys from California, no hurricanes. Well, thank you very much, Lisa, for tuning in. Hopefully the hurricane does not hit you. I was talking to KG from Bomb Projects, and they said that they had to leave Daytona early because of the hurricane. And I was like, I didn't realize Florida was getting hit. He goes, no, not Florida. He goes, California's getting hit. I'm like, wait, what? So, yeah, that was news to me. John. Yeah, see, John, totally dropped the ball, dude. Highly disappointed. All right, let's go ahead and thank the sponsors of this week's episode real quick, and we will get into the show, everybody, because let's face it, you guys want to hear about what this whole story is and all that good stuff. That's what you guys are here for. So first off, we got Nate from Infinite Possible Pythons. If you want to get into the Bang Project, this is the guy you need to talk to. He's in charge of the Bang Project, so definitely make sure you hit him up because Bang is what I consider the next big thing. He's also doing a bunch of other amazing ball python projects as well. Scaleless corn snakes, kahua geckos, leachianus geckos, crested geckos as well. Nathan's got a little bit of everything. Plus, he is your one-stop shop for all of your branding needs. So make sure you guys hit him up. Like backdrops for shows, all that good stuff. Tablecloths, business cards, shirts, merch, all that stuff. Nathan's got you covered. So hit Nathan up for any of that stuff. We've also got Chris from S Reptilia, which is your one-stop shop for basically whatever reptile you may need, as long as it's not a lizard. If you want a ball python, blood python, boa, colubrid, he's got you covered, folks. Let me tell you, he's got a bunch of things. Pine snakes have started hatching. Pine snakes and bull snakes. It's like some just outrageously awesome colored animals. Definitely hit Chris up if you're interested in any of that stuff. On top of it, if you're on the eastern side of PA, he's a rat breeder, so he can get you hooked up with some rats. And on top of it, he is Pennsylvania's distributor of Cocoa to Go and the Chipper, which is by far the best cocoa substrate on the market, in my opinion. So definitely hit Chris up if you would like to try it out. And then we've also got John and Christine of Triforce Morphs, guys. If you can't find it at Triforce, I don't know where the hell you can go to find it, because John and Christine basically have everything under the sun. They're very, very heavy into the Citron Clown Pod project. So they're also lace. Like I said, they've got a little bit of everything, folks, plus crested geckos. They've got some crested geckos as well. Beautiful stuff. They've been in the game for 10 plus years, folks. So definitely, they know what they're doing. They've got a lot of amazing animals, and I highly recommend them. So definitely go ahead, check them out. They are a force to be reckoned with. And then you guys all know my spiel with Husbandry Pro, guys. Free 30-day trial of the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market. Scan the QR code, click our affiliate link in the description down below. Free 30-day trial. You can't go wrong. It saves me so much time. It's worth every freaking penny, in my opinion. All right. That's my spiel, everybody. Sorry that you guys had to sit through all that.
All good.
No problem.
Let's see. We got Mark from 403 Farm. What's up, Mark? Thanks for tuning in. So, Nate, we'll start with you, dude. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Let me put you up here on the big screen. We'll kind of do this. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the hobby and industry, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So I've always been a fan of animals, obviously. Reptiles, top of my list. I would say started really keeping a lot of stuff in the breeding arena would be like 20 years ago. I was breeding leopard geckos. They were really hot back then. I was doing like all the tangerine stuff, and it was really fun and cool. Kind of got my feet wet with that. Bred those for maybe 6 or 8 years. Moved into poison dart frogs, actually. I had tons of the exoterras everywhere filled with frogs for a while. Hundreds of cups everywhere with tadpoles in them, just trying to keep up with them. It was nuts. Making fruit fly cultures every single night just to feed them all. That was really fun. I did that with my son, who's now grown. He's 26, living on his own. And that was kind of him and I's project, which was really cool. And that's one of the coolest things I think everyone can agree with reptiles is getting to share it with your kids, man. If you have kids, there's just nothing better. And that was huge for me. Now he's out of the house and my daughter's in the house, and she actually gets to play with snakes with me because I've been breeding ball pythons for about 6-7 years now. Kept them before that, but really got in pretty heavy buying the expensive snakes, let's say maybe about 7 years ago, something like that.
Okay, awesome. Dude, I completely agree with you on the whole getting your kids involved thing. Just today, I was down here doing snake wars, all this stuff. I had my little 3-year-old daughter, Hadley. I'd pull a water bowl out, she'd drop a new one in, I'd fill it. Like, it was just a nice little system. She
Yep.
loves being involved with the snakes.
It's
She
awesome.
actually claims them all. She says they're her snakes, and it's just like, well, if that's the case, then sweetie, you need to start paying the bills for them.
Yeah, it's good quality fun, man, for real. There's a lot of ways that kids can fill their time that's no good these days, and this is something cool for them. You know, it's quality stuff, in my opinion.
Exactly. And like my older son, he's just turned 16. He does a lot of the filming for me, so that gets him involved.
That's cool.
I try to.
That's a skill that'll go far these days, man.
Oh yeah. All right, Hunter, tell us a little bit about yourself here, and your background in the hobby industry, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So never really had snakes. Had a bearded dragon since I was like 13. Got my second one now. He's almost 13.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always just kind of been lurking on Morph Market and in the reptile community, just watching. And I finally had enough money where I was like, all right, I'd like to do a project. So let's pick something out here. And this is what I went with.
Awesome. All right, so Nate, you're the one that produced this girl, so we'll jump back to you. So give us a little bit of background about you with the Scaleless project, all that stuff, and lead us up to Hunter buying the animal then.
Yeah, sure. And if you want, we can always get into my Instagram as well. But basically,
yes, we can do that too, dude. Yeah. However you want to go about it.
Yeah. Well, real quick rundown. When I started getting heavy into snakes, Scaleless had, I don't know, at that point it was just kind of out. 6-7 years ago, this was pretty close to the front end of the Scaleless stuff, and I went like Hunter, you kind of pick a project that just looks cool, you know what I mean? You're like, that sounds awesome. At that point, there wasn't really a way to even hold a Scaleless animal at that point. If you want to hold one, you almost got to produce one. It was just that rare at that point. And I kind of went a couple different ways. I wanted to get into gravel stuff. I loved, the gravel stuff was just starting out at that point. I picked two main projects, and I was into the gravel stuff and I was into the Scaleless head stuff primarily. I also did get into sunsets back then as well. Were kind of my three main projects about 6-7 years ago. So I ended up finding a guy close to me in Maryland here that had adult Scaleless head animals. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I actually ended up buying almost his entire collection, which kind of shot me ahead years, which was really cool. But we're talking animals from BHB, WHS, the main guys at that point. If you wanted Scaleless head animals, you were buying them from guys like that. And that's where these animals were from. Ended up producing a bunch of really cool Scaleless heads myself that first kind of year, stuff that no one else was doing yet at that point, that had Orange Dream in it, that had the banana stuff in it. That was kind of, no one had those genes with Scaleless head at that point. And we can pop in, but basically the animal, long story short, the animal that Hunter purchased was actually the first Scaleless snake that I ever hatched.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, which is pretty cool, because I have hatched, off the top of my head, I think 8 of them now, something like that. So I've hatched about 8 Scaleless snakes now. But the history is all on my Instagram here, and we can look at some cool pictures of Scaleless animals if you want. I can screen share it up here.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Do I do that on my end, or do you do it?
You should be able to do it from your end, I think. This would be a first for me, so I'm not going to lie. I've never had a guest want to show stuff off, so
I think you click present at the bottom and then screen share or share screen.
Oh, there we go.
We got it?
There we go.
Yeah, this is not the animal. I was just playing with this earlier. But so to see the history of this snake that we're talking about is kind of cool. And kind of legitimizes it a little bit here for everybody just to see where we're coming from. But right away, I mean, first post, I had snakes for a while before I posted, but some of my first posts were getting into the scaleless head stuff, like this. This is the male from that produced the snake, which is a fire orange dream scaleless head, which back then was kind of unheard of, which is kind of cool. And then, like I said, first clutch ever is right here, from a scaleless head to a scaleless head. So this is the first time I actually had a chance at hitting a scaleless snake, because before I was making scaleless heads with one of the parents being scaleless head, one not being scaleless head. So I got seven eggs, first clutch ever having a chance to make a scaleless animal. And no, that's not it. Couple months later, and you saw the date on that. That was like 2019. And here it is. Me kind of being pretty happy here. July of 2019, seeing the first scaleless snake that I ever produced. And here she is. So this was the clutch, just all kinds of ridiculous scaleless head stuff over here. And then this snake, which is a pastel fire orange dream scaleless. And so she was actually, believe it or not, everyone says, oh, they're weak animals. And first of all, I do want to say I'm not a proponent of like breeding tons of scaleless snakes. That's not what I'm about. I'm not about trying to produce tons of scaleless snakes and sell them for tons of money. That's not my goal. In fact, if anything, I honestly do not think they should be mass produced now that I've produced 8 of them. I think they are for a select high-end person that has lots of time on their hand, to be honest, and can give them a lot of extra care, because that is what they require. But if you look in this picture, doesn't she damn look like the most healthiest snake in that clutch? She
looks fat as hell on that picture.
She's fat. She's happy, man. She just came out gorgeous, and she was never frail in any way. She always hammered food without hesitation her entire life. And she grew really, really well, man. She just grew as any other snake would, really. Like everyone says, oh, they shed so much. And in my experience, yeah, overall, they're pretty right. This snake, for whatever reason, does not shed nonstop like some of the other I've had. One thing I can tell you is they are not all the same. So some scaleless animals are going to shed cleaner and shed nicer than others. Others are you're always going to be messing with them. That's the fact of the matter. Some are better than others. This is a next clutch I hit, which I killed the odds on. 7 snakes and 4 came out scaleless. This was a head-to-head. And so this was really cool to see. These are have Lori in them, which are my favorite scaleless snakes by design. Are the ones that these are Orange Dream scaleless, and then some Lori and Lori Orange Dream scaleless.
Okay.
So pretty cool. This is probably my favorite scaleless I ever made, which is a Orange Dream Lori scaleless. I just loved the contrast that she had and the dark dorsal and everything. I just thought, and I have a really sick photo of her. I thought that just kind of pretty badass, don't you think?
That dude, in all honesty, that doesn't even look like a real snake. That came off of that. What's that new AI thing?
Yeah, man, insane.
That doesn't even look real. It's just
nuts, dude. Right? Yeah. Probably my favorite scaleless that I've produced right there. But anyway, let's get into her growing. Here's an Orange Dream scaleless. You know, you still don't see those anywhere. But anyway, here she is growing.
Hey, Nate, real quick.
Yeah.
So out of the 8 you produced,
yep,
how many of those 8 were really good, strong eaters, like didn't give you issues, didn't have all the issues? Like what percentage out of the 8 you produced did you see that?
Out of eating, I've never had a single problem. They all ate. They all hammered. They all ate. The issue would be mainly, and we can get into care a little bit if you guys want as well. But I would keep them all the same, and some, I would say half of them shed. This snake in particular that we're discussing today, by and far the best out of the group. Another 3 or 4 shed really well, and then 3 or 4 that just had issues shedding, and I always need a little bit helping hand. And what I learned is you don't want to keep them in anything damp. You keep the room humid is what's worked best for me. Even those that needed a little bit of help, maybe they had a little shed stuck on their head and needed peeled off their eyes, real lightly. It still came off really nice as long as I kept the room at 60 to 65% humidity. So what I did is a full room humidity all the time. I didn't try to put the humidity in the tub. I kept the air in the room to the correct humidity.
Okay.
So I'd say half and half, half did better than the other half. And I'm sure there's variations in here. Here she is at 770 grams.
I'm not, I have to be honest. Scaleless ball pythons, the way they look freak me out. They look badass though. Like that's a clean looking snake.
Yeah.
They're just
high
the fact
definition.
that they don't have scales that freaks me out. And Nathan knows about it because
Jeremy, have you ever held them?
I held a scaleless corn snake, and
Okay.
the only thing that made it okay for me was the fact that I had belly scales. The feel of the upper 3/4 freaked me out because it's like a snake's not to feel like this. But
I think they feel insane, man. I think it's crazy. I mean,
So many comments I can
reaction
make
is
about
just
you,
like,
Jeremy.
wow, that's insane. Like, yeah. A couple other scaleless snakes that I produced here. And we're getting into probably some more pictures. This was a orange dream banana fire. Kind of thing looks evil almost, huh? All right, there she is again. This is one that had a lot of issues shedding here.
that thing looks so like soft toned though.
Yeah, that one was nuts. Here she is at 1,150 grams at 18 months old. I can put that up against a lot of snakes at 18 months that still aren't touching 1,150 grams.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We all know that. Another orange dream. Here she is. And this is like when you're going to have a good shed with a scaleless snake. If you can get that head feeling right, you're going to have a good shed for sure. And my last couple pictures, I did start getting into a lot of cool blackhead desert ghost stuff there. But yeah, I had my best clutch ever. I sold, they were blackhead desert ghosts. The clutch sold for, and this is me, small time guy, so pretty high end. I think the entire clutch was over 25 G's, which for me was a huge accomplishment. Hit a bunch of, I think like out of the 7 or 8 eggs, I hit like 3 or 4 world's first, which was really cool. And I'm not super into the world's first, but it's still pretty cool to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
These were the most 2 recent scaleless. On the left is a orange dream lorry, and on the right is a lorry, plain lorry. And what's cool about orange dream, and people, when I first started hatching orange dream scaleless, everyone said I wasn't hitting them, but it doesn't come through orange. When you get other genes into it, it turns white. It's really wild. But yeah, not to like show off some sick snakes and stuff like that, but
that was insane looking.
I cannot find, I had it. Oh, it's on my phone. I think I sent it to him on my phone. I had one picture of her at 1,400 grams when Hunter was inquiring about her. She was at 1,400 grams. So I did not put that on my Instagram, unfortunately. That's on my cell phone, sending to Hunter. So that kind of gives you a background on, me producing the scaleless animals and stuff like that.
Now, question for you: what was your original plan with her? Was your plan to breed her down the line, or
Absolutely.
why did you decide to sell her?
Yeah,
basically right at that point when you could have bred her.
Yeah, it's a very good question because it was difficult to sell her because not only was she the best from a husbandry perspective, but she was just the coolest snake as well. She's like puppy dog tame. You can pet her on the head and she looks at you. And if a snake could smile, she'd be smiling at you, that kind of deal. Just the best personality as well. So I had her on Morph Market since she was little, you know what I mean? But because she was such a cool snake, and at the time, again, not to get into the titles, but she was a world's first as well at the time and all that, I had a pretty nice asking price on her. So she was on Morph Market, and as she grew, I didn't raise the price. I just kind of kept the price where it was, and I just had it on there because it got a lot of attention as well, but my goal was to absolutely try to breed her because she was out of all the ones I was producing, first of all, she was the first one. She was the largest, but because of the way she was growing and eating and shedding well, absolutely. I thought I have a chance. If any snake can do it, I'm thinking this snake can do it. You know what I mean? She's acting like a normal ball python, only doesn't have scales. There's nothing that she acts differently in any way, So when Hunter approached me, I actually said to him, I was like, yeah, if you want her, that's the price. And if you don't, that's cool. You know what I mean? Because I'll hold her and I have no problem trying. I said what my plans are. And this was one of our first conversations over the phone, because out of the years, anyone that wanted to purchase a scaleless snake from me had to have a phone conversation with me. That was just something I've always said. It was like, I'm not going to just start shipping scaleless snakes off to people when I have no clue if they're going to put the effort that it requires into them, So we had 1 or 2 phone conversations at least. And I said, my goal, because I don't know anyone that's tried it yet, I want to try it to an animal that doesn't have any scaleless head or scaleless genes in them in any kind. That was my goal. And he's like, that sounds pretty cool,
1 second.
Bro, finally, somebody's here to run this show.
She brought me Dairy Queen.
Can't beat that.
Nice. Right on.
Where's mine?
Nathan wants to know where his Dairy Queen is. What'd you do with it? Did you eat it like Dom ate Nathan's pizza? Yeah? Okay. At least you're following suit. Thank you, sweetie. Put it up in the freezer for me. Don't drop it, please. Please don't drop it. Thanks, Hon. I love my little princess.
Absolutely precious. Enjoy those years, man.
Oh, dude.
Mine's 15. It's nothing like that anymore.
Oh, I dread those that time.
And with well reason, brother.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
He has no idea what's coming his way, Nate.
Oh, dude,
You got a long time to chill, though. It's good. Enjoy it, man.
My wife, dude, this is completely off topic, so I apologize. When we found out we were having a girl, I was not like, I was happy and excited, but I was like scared to death and disappointed. Reason being, because if you have a boy, you're only worrying about one. Having a girl, you got the whole world to worry about. Yep. And that was the whole. No, they didn't shut the door. Hold on. Well, you're still here, Hadley. Silly goose. God, the door was opening up, and I was like, okay, that's a weird thing to be going on. Anyway, so yeah, it was kind of one of those deals where, you got a boy, you only got to worry about one. Girl, you got the whole world, and that was just stress I did not want to have to deal with. But anyway, all right, it's back to snakes. Can you go upstairs, please, sweetie? You go upstairs with Mama? No, you're going to hang out here with us? Okay.
She wants to hear about the scale of snakes.
Yeah, I guess she does, yeah.
Who doesn't?
So, all right, I lost my train of thought completely.
We were talking about Hunter and I's conversation, and I told him, obviously, he buys the snake, he can do whatever he wants with her. I was just sharing what I was planning on doing if he did not purchase her, and husbandry, all that good stuff we discussed, yeah.
So, because obviously the scaleless snakes do require a certain level of added care just because of, I guess not having the scales essentially.
Yeah. Absolutely. You don't want to keep them. You don't want to get them in damp in sitting in anything damp too long. They're going to start getting half sheds. You know what I mean? You got to make sure you're cleaning any shed that didn't come off, because it's more imperative that you get that off than a regular ball python that has a little bit of shed. It's just going to come off the next time. You know what I mean? So you don't want to do that with a scaleless animal. You do have to be looking at their eyes, because that is a spot where they'll hide a little bit. You know, they'll tend to stick a little bit on their eyes. Nobody talks about it, but yeah, there's more to it. And that's what cracks me up when, you know, I don't know what people, you know, a lot of people that think, you know, we made this up or something like that. And I don't understand. I'm still trying to figure out what I would gain from, going along with Hunter with this and making this up. I still haven't figured out what I would gain from that. Me personally, I'm actually in process of moving out of ball pythons right now. Actually, my main business has been blowing up. So I'm actually going to be stepping away from snakes here. So I don't really have a whole lot to gain moving forward from this. I think Hunter did something really cool. And I think he doesn't deserve to get a bunch of slack about it. He needs somebody to help stand up for him that believes in what he did. And I'm the guy that sold him the snake. So that puts me right here.
Thank you.
Well, I'm glad that Nate reached out to you, Hunter, to get you on here, because in all honesty, I didn't realize that Nate didn't own the female anymore. So like I learned, a whole lot just by you reaching out to me saying, hey, Nate said about coming on live, this and that. So I I learned something new there on that aspect, because I thought Nate had the animal, so I didn't know it had changed hands. So once you got the animal from Nate, Hunter, walk us through all of that, like how you decided to set it up, because I know apparently that's been a thing of controversy from what I've been getting in messages from me, especially. So I'm sure you've gotten those messages.
Yeah.
Walk us through all that, the whole thing from you getting her from Nate to basically pairing, all that stuff.
And what number snake was this in your collection, Hunter?
3.
Okay, so this is really like hitting the lottery.
Yeah. Yes.
And everybody, if anybody in the chat has questions, feel free to ask them. Like I said in the beginning, just please make them respectful, everybody. This isn't a witch hunt. This isn't the witch trial. Like, you guys know how I am. Be respectful, no drama, BS, all that, just be respectful. If you got a question you would like to have answered, we do have other slides and stuff like that we are going to be going over as well. So if you got a question about some of that stuff, maybe hold off a little bit. But if you've got a question that pertains to where we're at right now as Hunter's walking us through this stuff, feel free to ask it.
So I had bought the other 2 highways from Rip City. I believe that was like Marchish. I'm not sure the exact date. I don't have the info in front of me. But got them, was looking at highways and whatnot, looking at the super gravels. I was really liking those. I had her Sally bookmarked, but at the price she was at, I was kind of like,
I'm almost afraid to even want to know what the price was.
Yeah.
It wasn't as crazy as some of the snakes we see. Nothing.
Yeah, it's not. I've seen much more. I had sent an inquiry about a super gravel. The guy had already paired her. She wasn't for sale. I had gotten a little bit more cash in between there, so I was like, well, let's send an inquiry. I did. We had the phone conversation and whatnot. In that, I brought up that I wanted to keep her in a glass terrarium, mostly because I wanted to enjoy her, see her constantly. Nate basically was like, I don't think it'll be an issue as long as the humidity is steady in the room, which got a humidifier to make sure, and it stays at about 63. I keep hers. I have a wet towel on just to make sure that it stays at 65. It works pretty well, just that little bit. But that's pretty much that for the husbandry part of it. I'm sorry, I forgot the second question.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the chat here. Phil says, I believe, and if so, congratulations on the achievement, Hunter.
Thank you.
So what were you keeping her on? Paper towel?
Yes, I keep all of my snakes on paper towel.
Okay.
It's just easier to clean.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah, I get you on that one. I mean, I love my cocoa stuff, but at the same token, sometimes stuff hides.
If you only have 3 snakes, it's not too hard to change paper towels out.
That is very, very true. That is very true. It's pretty done and over with before you know it.
Yeah.
So you get Sally. Like, what was your process then after you got her and everything? Your thoughts with the breeding of her, all that stuff.
So I basically just kept her for a while, just watching her, learning like her personality. Like she was, like Nate was saying, she's just basically a dog. Like I'll sit down and she'll pop her little head out and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then just none of my other snakes do that. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, and then
He ate well for you right away, or how was that? I don't know if we ever discussed.
I think she skipped the first one, but then ate that second week. If she had skipped more than that, I'm sure I would have texted or got in contact with you, because the highway, the male, he did not eat for me for a while when I first got him, and I reached out and was like, but you're
tracking her weight and you're feeding her basically, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And what did you get her up to? What was the highest you ever?
The highest that I had documented was 18.
You took her from 1,400 grams up to about 1,800 grams, right? I know we discussed that, yeah, which is pretty good. And so at this point, she's how old? I wonder. I don't think we ever really figured that out.
No.
Start pairing her, I'm not sure. When you got her, she was almost 3 years old, I think, something in that range.
Yeah, I believe that was the discussion. Is when I had first bought her, you were saying this would have been the first season that it would have been feasible if she could at all.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Nate, were you under what was your thought with the whole even trying to breed her? Was your thought that, the likelihood of this being even feasible is slim to none? Or were you like, what was your thoughts behind even the thought of breeding?
Yep. Because I was 100%. I hope Hunter agrees with this. I was 100% upfront with him, because when he talked to me about it, that was some of his questions. Can I breed her? And I said, you can sure try, was basically the answer. But I was 100% upfront that there are no guarantees that this is feasible in any way. Nobody has been successful with this that I'm aware of. And that's why if I move forward with this project, was going to try something a little bit different. And I don't know if that's why you did what you did, or because you had 3 snakes and you had another male. So, that kind of makes
a little B.
I don't have to go get another snake. Let's see what happens kind of deal. Is if I'm putting myself in your shoes, that's kind of probably how it went down. But it also lined up with what I was telling you I was going to try. And so I don't know if you thought that was a good idea or what, but that's basically the whole conversation in a nutshell, honestly, was no guarantees. No one's done it. Nobody knows if it can be done. And I was honest that I said, if I was going to try it with one, which were my plans, this would be the snake I would try it with. Simple as that.
And that was kind of part of why I wanted to keep her in a glass thing. I was just assuming she's not going to produce, so you just have a really cool pet.
Yeah. Yep. No, I get that. Nathan, also, dude, if you have any questions that you want to ask as well, dude, just chime in, bro.
I will.
Because I know you look like you've got the wheels turning. You're just it legit looks like you're ready to ask something. It's just like just ask it.
No, I mean, right now I'm just interested in this whole, how this all went down, because I saw some of the backlash and truthfully didn't really understand. Nate, you kind of put it. What my first reaction was, what in the heck would they have to gain by making this up? I don't really understand that. So it's interesting that you say the same thing, that like this isn't even something that your goal is to
profit off of or make money on in any way.
Right.
I had snakes for sale. I didn't go run and double prices on all my snakes or anything, because I thought I had, I produced the first Scaleless that ended up giving eggs. You know what I mean? I didn't think that made me. And honestly, when it first happened, I had to be convinced to share it because I kind of knew what was coming. Let's be honest. When Hunter, and all respect to Hunter, when he shared that picture with me, I was like, oh man, this doesn't look like your typical snake on eggs sitting in an exoterra. You know what I mean? This is work up brawl breeder. We're used to seeing them in tubs. This. And then when he showed me, and again, I don't mean any disrespect to you in any way, Hunter, but when he showed me the eggs, how he had them, I was like, what are you doing here, brother? You know what I mean? Give me a call immediately. So I'm trying to help him any way I can to do, like, first of all, I was blown away when I got the text because, what we're about to get into probably leads here pretty soon. He didn't think she was doing well at one point as he was keeping her. So he paired her up. And at one point moving forward, she started not acting like herself, basically. And so he, being a super responsible pet owner and a novice, did what you would at that point. He probably should have called me immediately, but he thought he was going to go one above and took her to the vet. You know what I mean? Which is cool, which is really neat, because what we're going to see is a trail of her at the vet a few times here, which is, if you were a lawyer in a court case, would be, exhibit A, you know what I mean? But he's got some weights from different times that she was at the vet. But basically, in a nutshell, he paired her up, didn't think she was pregnant in any way. Hence the reason he's not really looking for an ovulation of any sort. And he's a new breeder. This would be, not only does he have 3 snakes, this is his first clutch he's ever produced.
Yep.
How, that sounds like a hell of a story, doesn't it? Yeah, I get it, but it's damn true. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. His first clutch ever was from a Scaleless female. That's the truth. And that's just how it lined up. But he didn't think she was, gravid. He's taken her to the vet and asked the vet. The vet didn't think she was gravid, being 100% open here. You know what I mean? And the vets, once a snake has eggs, it is pretty tricky to feel them somehow. You would, obviously experience, you can sometimes hang the snake and see when they're holding eggs and stuff like that. And, for us that's done it a long time, but obviously this vet, I don't know how experienced they are, but they weren't experienced enough to realize that, because I believe, Hunter, at this point, she's past ovulation. She's producing eggs at this point when she's at the vet, right?
Yeah, I think that's how it works on the timeline.
And this vet didn't catch it. But what they did catch was her weight. So we have some vet paperwork that shows her weight as she's visiting the vet. And the cool thing is, Hunter, without thinking he's going to use this to show anybody anything, he took her to the vet afterwards. So he's the kind of responsible pet owner that doesn't worry about money when he's trying to take care of his animals, which is super cool. And I respect the dude 100% for that. You know what I mean? He took her to the vet multiple times. And we have a history of the vet weighing her out. And what we're going to look at is some paperwork that shows her at the vet. Oh, cool. So
you might need to put your thing on full screen. I tried to do this the best that I could.
Right. So on April 24th this year, down in the middle, like 2/3 down, you can see that she was seen. He thought, the vet and Hunter both thought, I assume, that she had a respiratory. because they're doing some medication and stuff because she wasn't crawling out and hanging out with him anymore. And he's like, "What's wrong with you? You aren't eating. You aren't
She
hanging
had
out
some,
with me anymore. Something's going on. I'm
She
taking
had
you
a
to the
little
vet."
build up too.
Yep. So he takes her in, and here, hindsight 2020, yeah, she's not feeling great. She's loaded up. You know what I mean? So the vet says, "Here, try this, try that," and weigh her in at 424 at 1,660 grams at 1.66 kilograms. You see right there. Only about 2 weeks later, if you look at the top, she lays her eggs. And he takes her in again because he thinks he as again a novice. He's worried. Is there still anything in her? I don't want her to die. You know what I mean? Is she holding another egg in there yet? This is crazy. I wasn't expecting this. I'm freaking out. I'm taking her to the vet because this is my prized possession snake. I love her. She's my pet. I'm taking her into the vet again. And on 5/9, he takes her into the vet. And she comes in at 1,230 grams right there at the top. She lost 430 grams in about 2 weeks. So unless he cut off a third of her body and she's dead and he took her into the vet, I don't know how the hell you do that.
And plus here in the middle on 5/5, you can see a conversation or what would be like shorthand notes of the conversation that was had.
You called the vet when she laid the eggs, basically.
Yeah. I think that was like right after I talked to you.
Okay. And basically made the vet aware that she laid these eggs, you know what I mean? And he's just trying to, as a novice, he's trying to get all the information he can from every source at this point. He calls me, he's calling the vet, he's looking for information. Kind of a little bit of a freak out, maybe, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Like I remember my first clutch.
Jeremy, be honest. You do it now. Stop with your first clutch.
Hey, shut up, Nathan. Shut up.
Come on. He's trying to play it off like he doesn't get all excited anymore.
No, that's not even what I'm freaking talking about.
This guy IDs and sexes his snakes before he cuts them.
Hey. I've never been right on any of them. But no, with my first clutch, after she had laid, I pulled her off. I palpated her. And it seemed like she was empty, but I had felt something that seemed a little off. Mm-hmm. And I was worried. It's like, okay, is there a freaking egg in there? It didn't feel like an egg, but it's like, is there a slug stuck in there? So Hunter did what most people, in my opinion, would do. What I probably should have done was call a vet. But I thought, no, I'm just going to wait it out, see what happens.
Put her aside, see if she squeezes another one out.
Exactly. That's basically what I did with it. But Hunter, you did what anybody would have done with
super responsible, man. Like I'm blown away by
At this point, I'm just kicking myself for not opting for the X-ray when I first took her in.
Okay, so they offered the X-ray her.
Yeah, she
checked that way. Okay.
Yeah, she got X-rayed when I brought her in after.
Okay.
Okay. So you've got X-rays over at post-lay.
Yeah.
Next time, Hunter, call a friend with a ultrasound.
Yep.
Well, actually, you're in are you in Pennsylvania, Hunter? Or
no? No, I wasn't flying out I wasn't flying out to him. He's Washington, right, Hunter?
Yeah, somewhere West Coast.
But yeah,
okay.
It would have been cool if he knew somebody to check on her a couple times throughout this process. That would have been awesome. Yeah,
I'm surprised the vet didn't offer that. Maybe they just hadn't thought of it or something.
I don't know how experienced this vet was with reptiles.
Yeah.
Do you, Hunter?
I mean, I think it's their specialty. I just don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. No. That's kind of on them, but it would have been cool at that point if they would have recognized that she was gravid, obviously.
Yeah. And then here's also the other one of the other pages that I have here in case anybody would like to see this. It's just got some other information on it as well. There were several other pages, everybody, but these were the two I picked out that I thought kind of served the purpose for what we were going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah.
But here, after, it's got her end weight, the fact that when they palpated her, obviously, since she had laid, they didn't feel any freaking eggs in her because, they're all gone. So, Hunter, how many eggs did she lay?
It was 6 eggs and then the 1 slug.
Okay, so 6 and 1. Okay. And let me remove these pictures. 1 second here. Remove. Since I've only got limited space in Windows, it might take me a little bit to pull things up. So everybody, here is a picture, and I'm sure a bunch of other people have already seen this picture already. There is a picture of Sally. Oh, Jesus. I hit my lever to make my chair fall down. That's the second time I've freaking done that so far. Anyway, so there's Sally with her eggs. 4 in the coils, 2 outside, 1 slug. Now, how out of the 4 eggs, walk us through the whole incubation, because obviously out of the 6 eggs, obviously something happened to 2 of them. So give me a timeline on all of that.
Yeah, so the 2 that didn't hatch are the 2 that she's not holding on to there. I don't have I'm on a laptop. I don't have all those notes with me. Sorry, let me.
No, you're good. You're good.
But you can see the 2 eggs to the right. I don't know how long it took for Hunter. That was one of the questions I asked Hunter first was, how long do you think they were sitting before you found them? You check her every day. And he said it couldn't have been more than 24 hours. Is that what you told me?
Yeah, not even.
Which was surprising because those 2 are significant. You can see they're more dehydrated than the 4 that she's around.
Yeah, it's not unheard of that the kickouts don't always make it.
Right.
Even when you do catch them. So
right.
That's not super surprising.
Right. But I think looking at this picture, maybe we should go over some of the comments because there were a ton of negative comments about this picture. Yes. And they were used kind of as proof that this snake did not lay these eggs. And, going over them, we can just kind of go over them one by one and kind of discuss our opinion on it if you guys want. But number one, it looks like that snake was placed around those eggs to me. Was number one comment that we got, from this picture. And, that's fine. It's maybe it does look that way to people. I'm not sure because it was a common comment from people. But personally, this doesn't look that abnormal to me now that I've hatched. Do I like to see a snake perched on top of eggs where I can hardly see the eggs? Of course, that's a beautiful perching on top of eggs there. You know what I mean? But have I ever seen clutches that look like this? Absolutely. This isn't that uncommon. I sent Jeremy a picture of clutch I have that looks almost identical to
I pulled one yesterday, just like it.
Yeah. We'll actually go through and show some different examples for anybody that thinks that this is staged. But I do want, because Nathan, I want Nathan, any of you guys, do you guys want to just kind of make a point as to how she is wrapped around them, though? That if she was placed,
right? Well, number one, I don't know how you would get a snake to stay on eggs that you placed and stay wrapped around, but snakes do a couple things that I've noticed over. And again, I don't have the most experience of anyone in the world, but I've hatched 40 plus clutches now, and they like to kind of S their head over top of the eggs. They're protecting those eggs. She's displaying that protective nature over the eggs. She has this really hard 90 degree to her body that snakes just don't do when they're just hanging out typically, but they do exhibit this 90 degree bend when they're around eggs. And I've seen that many, many times. That picture I showed you, Jeremy, that you're going to be sharing shows that exact same thing. Yes. I don't know that I've ever really opened a tub, and I'm not saying it's never happened, but she has a 90 degree. She's not in the corner of a tub right there. It's this 90 degree hug. And I've only really seen that when a snake sits on eggs, and I've seen it several times. It's almost a perfect 90 degree if you look at that bottom portion of her body. Those are the two things that I looked at right away. And just the fact that, because when Hunter sent me this picture, I had to do the same thing everybody else did when they looked at this picture. I was like, wow, this is not what I would typically see, from a reptile breeder on eggs. People are saying, oh, well, what they put toilet paper around it? No, it's paper towels. That isn't that uncommon. Come on, man. I mean, you're getting a little ridiculous. You're saying, oh, there's toilet paper. That can't be real.
Like of everything they pick toilet.
Right. It's almost laughable to me. And then if this was a staged picture, in addition, would you then take two eggs that are slightly more dehydrated and put them off to the side with the other infertile egg, or not infertile, slug, sorry. I just don't know, what would make somebody even stage a picture this way. But before we move on to that, if you could zoom into the egg that's sitting behind her head.
I think there's another picture too that has it a little clearer.
Do you have the other picture? This is kind of exhibit B if you want to get crazy with this, you know what I mean? So this is pretty important, because this is what I saw and zoomed in on my phone that made me feel really good. In addition, that, on top of everything else that we're talking about, that this is legit. This snake definitely laid these eggs in this enclosure.
This is actually the best picture I have of it, just because I've got the pictures preloaded and stuff.
But you can't zoom in on it.
No, I can't.
Okay. Well, behind her head, you can see it a tiny bit, but I really wanted to zoom in. What you see is some green dye on one of the eggs. And I had to think a couple times about what this was. And then I started looking around and saying, oh, there's artificial dyed plants in this terrarium. You know what I mean? So, and would eggs that were pulled from another enclosure and put in there that weren't super fresh and soft, would they transfer green dye onto them? Yes or no? Tell me what your opinion is on that, Jeremy. Would an egg have to be coming right out their ass, basically, to transfer green dye? In my opinion, yes. So. Yeah, because as soon as they're out, they start to form that little bit more of a shell to them. And they're not you could put those eggs against those green artificial plants all day long. You're never going to get that green to transfer over to those eggs. And who the hell would stage a picture by I don't know. That's just getting insane to me. So that's one of the things that I saw when I zoomed in. I saw that green dye on one of those eggs, and I was like, oh, well, hell, that egg was just coming out of her. And it touched that green plant. And because that egg was so moist yet, just coming out, it transferred green dye off of those leaves. Now, I know we're getting deep into this here, but because of the comments made, we have to get kind of deep and show like everything about this that we have as kind of proof that this snake laid these eggs,
Yeah. Now, Mark here at 403 wants to know what Facebook group was it posted in? He'd like to read some of the comments. I know, Mark, it was on.
Well, it was removed from all of them.
Okay.
Because they thought it was fake. Even like we couldn't get any of the admins to allow it to stay. So where it's kept is under my page on Facebook. That's where you can get into this. And you will see a little bit of, just to be upfront, you will see a little bit of retaliation for me getting a little bit upset. What I wanted to do, because I was getting so sick of hearing comments, I did delete some of the really nasty ones, you know what I mean? Just because I didn't want to keep every single thing on my page. But I told everybody, this is how confident I was about it. I said, let's get this out there. We actually looked into DNA testing. It is possible to test one of the babies and sheds against her shed to prove that those are her babies. So this is how deep we got into this. It's very expensive because I'm sorry, off the top of my head, what's the main genetic testing company doing this?
RGI.
Right? Yep, Rare Genetics, right. So they said they would have to send it off to a lab to do it. They can't do it in-house. It would cost $300 and it would take about 2 months to do because they would send it off to a lab, get results, yada, yada. And I said, we're game. We want to do it. I said, however, I actually wanted them to take it to their YouTube channel. I wanted them showing the sheds because anyone can say, well, you sent them any shed you want. Well, you can't fake a scaleless shed. So if they were willing to show these are this and legitimize it, I would be more than happy. We were more than happy to pay the $300. But I haven't heard back from them if they're willing to show these are the sheds we're testing. In other words, because we could go get results, spend the $300, and everyone's going to say, BS, you send in different sheds. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do it unless someone legitimizes the sheds that are sent in. Otherwise, we're wasting our money. But what I wanted to do was make some money for USARK, because all these people that were calling us liars had USARK all over their pages. And I said, I'll tell you what. Let's make a little bet. Let's move forward with this testing as long as we can get it. And I'll put up $1,500 against any one of you guys right now. Loser pays a $1,500 US ARC bet. Not a single person would step up. They're willing to go online and flame people, but they aren't willing to put their money where their mouth is. So that is one thing that I did. That was I'm kind of at a loss here. All I can tell you is I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is.
Yep.
Simple as that. Okay.
And I wanted to come out and say this as well, too. When this whole thing came across from Phil, and I'm pretty sure it was Phil that brought it up, posted the pictures of this. My exact first words to Phil were, there's no way in hell, because if it was real, it would have been one of the people that originally started the Scaleless project to hit it.
Right.
But I was also intrigued. It's like, well, you know what? Dumber shit has happened. You've got parthenogenesis, you've got androgenesis. This wouldn't be the first time that something unexplainable or something for the first time has happened, similar. So I thought, you know what? Maybe there is something to this. And that's part of the reason why I also reached out to you guys to get you to come on and talk about this. Because the more I got to thinking about it, and it's like you guys had said before, what did you have to gain from this? You had nothing.
Does the snake care how big you are in the ball python industry?
Nope.
And let me ask you this, and I don't want to call people greedy, but how many of those big guys were willing to put their scaleless with a snake that wasn't going to make any scaleless?
Very true.
So we did something not out of greed. In fact, it was the opposite. It was just for the hell of it. Let's see what happens. This would be really cool. And I bet you we did something, and I could be completely wrong. Maybe this isn't why it worked. But I think over time it's going to prove something out, that not having scaleless in the mix may actually be what allowed it to happen. Hunter did a little bit of research on that, and he made a really cool remark about that. And he found some information. You want to share that, Hunter?
I'm sorry, I was reading the comments that were popping up. I believe you were talking about the Sonic Hedgehog protein, though. Is that what you were going into? The gene control. So I, a long time ago, had stumbled upon a protein. I didn't stumble upon it, but I stumbled upon research of this protein called Sonic Hedgehog. Basically, the protein controls a lot of different development in organisms. In humans and mice, it's shown to control keratin development, so hair. So I essentially was just thinking, well, if it can control keratin development, scales are keratin, but it also controls organogenesis. So it controls organ development. So it might be something where, like you were saying, scaleless to scaleless, it just doesn't work. It just might be fatal.
The proteins might be like the development could definitely have something to do with the genes that are in the animals and how well they develop certain keratins and stuff like that. And if you put two together, maybe that causes it not to work out. We have no clue. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But there's no way to discredit the fact that may have something to do with it. And I believe this is all going to be proven out sooner or later. Could this be a 1 in a million? Potentially, I guess so. I don't believe so, not in any way. I believe 100% you're going to continue to see it as long as people continue to grow their scaleless snakes big enough and try different things with them. I would recommend putting your scaleless to an animal that doesn't have any scaleless head genes in it and giving that a try personally. And I think what we're going to see is that this is not an anomaly. It's going to happen more and more in the future, and it's going to be proved out that way regardless. Yeah.
John here from Triforce says what looks off to him in the pic is that the back end does not look deflated. Also, she is not peaked like you usually see a girl that size. I'll say that like John has a point, but I do have to say I've had 2 girls this season that after they laid, there's no way in hell like they didn't even look like they laid a clutch. Like they legit looked just as plump and healthy as they were before.
She lost 400 grams.
Yeah.
They weren't humongous eggs. I personally don't get that. I guess I've kept the animal. I know how fat and healthy she was. Look at that picture of her as a hatchling. She was a wide snake. You know what I mean? For example, I've heard that comment as well from several people. I don't know how you could tell that in that picture, to be honest, that she doesn't look deflated, because that was something else that was brought up many times as well. But we do have showing that she lost the 400 grams, thank goodness, because he was taking her to the vet. But hey, if you see that, that's cool. I don't know how you would look at that picture and say she looks too wide. A lot of snakes, you don't see how skinny they are till you pull them off the eggs and they stretch out. That's when they look skinny to me. When they're perched on eggs, their bodies get wide and flat. Or, when they're perched around eggs, they get wide and flat. You pull them off the eggs and they start crawling out, they start squiggling away. That's when they start looking skinny to me personally. That's just been my experience.
John also wants to know, what's the third snake that you have? Is she also scaleless head?
No, she's a highway.
Okay.
2 highways you have. Are they both pastel highways?
Yeah, both pastel highway.
Yeah, a male and a female pastel highways.
Okay. And Luke, what's up? I do have 1 second here. I've got pictures of them locked up. If I can, yeah, here we go.
Can I just ask a question? Because I'm not real familiar with scaleless stuff other than, the obvious. Was there ever any real research done as to why they never produced, or was it just everybody that tried wasn't successful and they just wrote it up as?
I haven't even heard the main guys say it's not possible yet. Personally, have you? They just haven't done it. I've never heard one of the big guys come out and say you can't do it. It's impossible. I've never heard one of them come out and say it yet. I don't know about you guys.
In all honesty, I've never really, like I said before, the scaleless ball python stuff freaks me out. So that's one thing I've never really remotely even looked into a whole lot of. Yeah. Other than the whole, everybody wrote the project off as being a dead end.
Right. But I guess that's my point, is who exactly wrote it off?
Yeah.
I haven't, I've heard people say it can't be done. Are these the guys that are heavy into it? And what all did they try would be that. I'll always go back to that. What all did they try? Were they trying to produce a ton of scaleless snakes and try to make bank?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, to me, looking at it from a business aspect, if you had a scaleless female, what's going to make you the bigger bang for your buck? It's throwing something in there that's got scaleless head to make those visual scaleless.
Right.
So
when you don't have big bucks to gain, are you going to try what we did? Sorry.
No, you're good. Like, my guess is that they weren't thinking about doing what Hunter did and throwing something that had nothing to do with scaleless at all in it. John, the male highway, was he scaleless head? John, I'm pretty sure that the only scaleless animal Hunter has is the female. The highways are just regular pastel highways, right, Hunter?
Yeah, just pastel highway.
Okay. Yeah, so there's no other scaleless head involved at all, John. So that's kind of what we're thinking. What Nate's thinking is that because of there being no scaleless head on the other end, that's what maybe made this possible. Because actually, with what you guys were talking about with the keratin or whatever it was, the proteins and stuff, that does make some sense to me. And I'm not the most scientific minded, but that kind of boils down to, like, I kind of put the scaleless in place, or spider in place of the scaleless. If you've got two animals, you can't pair spider to spider because of the neuro issues, the inner ear issues.
Right.
So basically, that's similar to this, is how I'm relating it to me anyway to understand it too.
So, yeah, if it has to do with, developing eggs, then they're going to get to a certain point, and the animals, instinct or whatever, it's not going to go right. It's not going to start forming an egg, and it's going to absorb. Potential.
Aaron here from Beastmore. What's up, Aaron? Thanks for tuning in. He says Antoine has been the biggest component to it. Can't happen that he's seen. And I mean, I don't know who all is still in the Scaleless project. I don't know if I said hi to you, Chris, but what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you had fun at Daytona. Aaron says Earl, he believes, is still working on it as far as he knows. Chris says the market for Scaleless fell off, so most of the big guys threw in the towel. Which I'm really like, you've got my brain really thinking here on that aspect of maybe it's the Scaleless, or the scale, just
same gene to same gene. The gene's in the mix on both sides, and it's too much to be able to produce eggs.
Yeah, you guys really have me thinking on that one. So there's a picture of the lock, everybody. I don't know what more. I mean,
we were told that's not a lock. We were told that's not a lock, and the male's tail is upside down in that lock. I don't get it, man. I've seen a lot of locks that looks like a lock to me.
Yeah, Nathan, your thoughts? Lock? No lock?
Yeah, I mean, if it isn't a lock, I'd definitely like to find out how you stage that one. Because that's, I mean, you guys talked about staging the eggs, but I think it'd be harder to stage that, whether that's a lock or not.
Yeah,
I mean,
we were told that the male is the bigger snake in that picture, and probably the highway is the bigger snake in that picture, and that's probably the female, or something like that. We were told as well. I was told that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one, but
yeah, I don't know how you look at the tail ends of a couple snakes and tell which one's the bigger snake. I mean, yeah, the male snake tail looks bigger because her tail is hidden behind it.
Right, it's blocked. Yeah, clearly.
So that was just something else that lock it up. Thank you.
Lock it up. Aaron says that's the lock. He is lock.
Give us those lock chats, guys.
So, all right, let me pop that out here. Now, let's go. Got some more pictures for us all. Let's go and look at, for the people that were, since we were talking about the how mom was wrapped around the eggs and stuff. Nate, here's the picture you sent me.
Yep.
So basically, everybody, I mean, that's essentially the exact same.
I went through all my clutches, and I thought, if this isn't the same dang scenario, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? She's got that hard 90-degree bend protecting those eggs. She's not in the corner of a tub, with that bend. She's real loose, if not a little bit looser around those eggs, and she's got her head and neck curled over them, ready to tag you if you want to take them. I don't know how you can line up a better picture than, to compare to that lock. I mean, if the other one was placed, then I guess this one was placed as well, back when I had no reason to do it, or Hunter had no reason. I don't know how, but basically that is not uncommon to not have a super tight. Is it, every time? No, but 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, somewhere in there, they're not going to wrap and coil on top to where you don't even see eggs. And they're not as good of a mom when it comes to getting all their eggs in the coil. I've had worse ones than both of these that we're looking at as well over the years, man, where eggs are, most of the eggs are on the other side, and she's on 2 of them halfway. I mean,
757 Outdoorsman, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. You're new to the channel. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. They say they saw this posted in Scaleless Ball Python Breeders on Facebook.
Yep.
I was not expecting it to be true at all, but with my first Scaleless head to Scaleless head clutch pipping in about 20 days, this is exciting.
Yeah, it gives you something to try for sure. Give it a shot. I mean, you're many years out. Some of these females do take a lot longer to grow. If they're going to be shedding nonstop, it can take you 5 years to get a Scaleless female up to size. But there's people out there with Scaleless females up to size that have written it off and aren't trying it, I encourage throw a non-scaleless head to them if you want. I mean, don't breed them if you don't want to, but I would love to see some more people trying it just to see what happens.
Yeah, and this might be the key to unlock it too. I mean, it might be on just how we
still get snakes out of the deal, you know, and you're not making more scaleless animals where people aren't going to be taking care of them potentially and things like that. So you're not adding to a problem in any way. Whereas if these were really, I almost am kind of glad they're not super easy to reproduce, because there's a lot of incompetent people out there that aren't going to take care of these animals. And if you just started making scaleless to scaleless everywhere and people were buying them for $200, do you know how many snakes would suffer in that scenario? So I'm almost kind of glad it's the way it is. And if we want to be called a liar because we're sharing this, that's fine. That is what it is. But in the end, the animals is what matters to all of us when we're keeping these animals, and we want to be competent when we're having a life in our hands. And these animals need more attention, and we probably shouldn't have thousands and thousands of them out there selling for $200 each.
No, I agree. Now here, this is the better looking out of the bad mom scenarios, everybody. I have them titled as bad moms. It doesn't fit the stereotypic, thing
Right
here. But here's bad mom number 2. Wait, where did that? Here we go. So there you've got a female, eggs on the whole other side of the freaking bin, half-ass boiled around one egg.
Yep. She still has her head and neck est around that one egg.
Yep. She's in that whole 9-degree thing.
Yep.
But I mean, you use your imagination, everybody. I mean, basically the same scenario. Now, these are pictures I got from breeder friends of mine that are in my group chat and stuff, and that I'm friends with. So, there again, like, that's not something staged. So if you guys are thinking that original photo of Sally on the eggs is staged or not real or whatever, however you want to look at it, first time moms do some really stupid moves sometimes. And here's one.
Valid point.
Here is bad mom number 3. And she's not even coiled around the eggs.
Wow.
Like, she just said, the hell with this. I'm not doing this motherly stuff.
Get me a rat. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, now, if anything's going to look staged, I would think this is the snake that fits that bill, where it just doesn't care. It's just going to sit there in the tub and live its own little life. Like that. Yeah. And anybody that's tried to ever photograph a snake, when was the last time you put a snake anywhere to take a picture and the SOB didn't move? Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, yeah. Phil says, I forgot this.
I'd like to see somebody stage one. I want to see somebody try to stage a snake on eggs for real. I'd love to see what that looks like for real, man.
Well, if you're staging it on eggs, it's not gonna have that instinct to coil around them, so it's not really gonna stage. I mean, it's just gonna crawl off. I mean, it's like, I don't know. Kike, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Morph Exotics, I cover their heads like I'm playing whack-a-mole and take pictures. I've tried that, and as soon as my hand leaves their freaking head, if I'm not clicking on that camera,
you get a second and a half at best. Yep.
Yeah. I hate taking pictures of snakes. Freaking hate it.
I'll put them back in and try again later once they're moving at all. I'm not even gonna waste my time anymore.
Yeah, like legit, like I had people ask me for pictures of the carpet pythons. You know what I sent them? I sent them short videos. I was like, this is what you get, because there's no way in hell a carpet python is going to sit still long enough for you to take a picture of it.
It's a good idea.
It just doesn't happen. Clint, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with us. Everybody, please make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe, please, as well. Definitely check out all of our sponsors. All right, I'm just removing some of these pictures now. Let's dive into some of these babies. And Hunter, if you want to go, I don't know.
I'll go grab them.
Okay, I was gonna say, I don't know if you have something where you can put them all in one thing, so that way, as I pull up pictures, you know which one it is. Chris, I'm so jealous, Chris. You got to go down to freaking Daytona. It looked like everybody was having a good time down there. I hope it was a good show. While Hunter's getting the snakes, next week, everybody, I have Matt of Olympus Reptiles joining me. We're going to be talking Exantic stuff, which you guys probably already figured that was the main reason for having Matt come onto the show. And then I've got Chad, that's right, Chatty Daddy of Richie's Recessives joining me the following Sunday. So gonna have some good guests. I'm working on the rest of the month. I've got feelers out to Bomb Projects KG and D. They're gonna be coming on. I'm just waiting for them to pick dates. You know, it's been real crazy here lately. I've been kind of running a little ragged. I'm not gonna lie. Between being sick and just babies hatching and shedding and taking, like, it seems like I'm recording something almost at least twice a week, which is a pain in the neck to try to do. Phil says Daytona looked awesome. Yeah, Nathan, you got anything exciting coming up clutch wise?
I don't know. I've lost track at this point. I'm sure I do.
You always got something up your sleeve, bro.
All those romantics shed out finally.
Oh, they did? Oh,
Yep.
you'll have to send me some pictures then, dude.
I will.
All right, Hunter. Now, do you have them all with you?
Yeah, all 4 of them are right there.
Okay, all right. I'm going to pull up the one that was the most difficult for me just because that's going to be the one that everybody, I'm sure, is going to – that's the one that was being pointed out to me so hardcore. So let's pull this photo up. So there is this baby. Now, you can tell us the combo it is, and we can show the snake off. I'll flip-flop you in the image and stuff. Actually, let's just show this. Let's do this once real quick. All right. Show the baby off there once and tell us what it is, and I'll pull up the headshot again then.
I mean, as far as the morph goes, I haven't came to a conclusion.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So these are pretty tricky. So what we did when we were looking at them is obviously you got the pastel in there. You're looking at all of them will have either yellow belly or gravel, obviously. You know what I mean? Okay. Every single one of these has yellow belly or gravel in them. Yep. Then you're also going to have fire, yes or no, and you're going to have orange dream, yes or no. Pastel is going to be in most of them because it was a pastel to pastel pairing. There might even be a super pastel in here. When you start getting into these pastel fire yellow bellies and stuff like that, yeah, they're a little tricky, but I mean, looking at it here, you're seeing a lot of flamies there. So you know you got that gravel yellow belly kicking in there usually, you know. Obviously it has pastel. That head stamp's kind of crazy, which would potentially mean it might have fire in there as well.
Say fire. Part of me almost thinks OD.
It could have OD. Yeah, these are really tricky. He showed them to me, and I was like, dude, these are tough. Yeah, and I'm not the best at picking morphs out. Hunter doesn't have great experience, but what we can tell is that when you look at these genes on both sides, these snakes are popping on them. You know what I mean? Both the genes in both of these snakes are popping in these animals.
Yeah.
Can you pull the tail out a little bit on?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see about OD. I like to look at their tails for OD a lot of times. That's funny. Hold it up a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I guess it could be Orange Dream. I'm not seeing like something that's screaming Orange Dream at me on it, but it could be.
Say something about it, like Leopard does it to me, and Orange Dream does it to me, where it's something with them, and it just my eye picks it out.
Yeah.
Nate's gonna laugh at me, but it's probably because I'm partially colorblind. Like there's just something my eye just catches with it, and it like I can pick it out.
Yeah.
So all right, let me try to pull up this picture now.
But when you look at that head, you know, I've hatched a ton of scaleless head now, more so than scaleless. That goes along with the game. And you don't always see missing scales, but you do always see a crazy difference in size of scales.
Yes, which that's one thing I've noticed. Like in this picture, I messaged Hunter about it today. I was like, circle where the scaleless part is, because some of these light areas is what I thought was the scaleless part.
No, those are white scales. Yeah,
as I say, but it looks like the white scales.
Right. No, you know, down in between his eyes is where you're always going to see scales missing. Like if you go in, and that's where they're all micro. So you have some really tiny micro scales there. And this is the one Hunter questioned me about when he had the snakes. And this is something that some people know, most people know that breed them. I said, go to the scale above the vent of the snake, and is it split? And he said, holy hell, yeah, it is. So when you can't tell on their heads and you're not 100% positive, they will always have a split scale above their vent.
Okay. See, now that I did not know.
Yep.
All right, now hold on, Hunter. Let me pull you up here again.
And so there, yeah, that's tough. Come in.
Yeah, not great quality.
So in most all of your ball pythons, you're gonna sometimes a split scale will pop up in a non-scaleless head animal, but 99% of ball pythons have one long, wide scale above their vent towards their body side. All scaleless heads have a split one there.
Okay.
There's another one that might be a little more obvious.
That's a beautiful animal, dude. Like, I'm not gonna. They're beautiful. All these snakes are beautiful.
Thank you.
I know, like when I was looking at the pictures of them, it's just like I wanted to put the full body.
Thank you for the correct.
They were absolutely beautiful, top quality pictures, dude. Also, I want to give you props on that. The quality, like when I said, send me some quality images of these things. Everybody, he sent me just that. Like, my mind was blown away. It's like, if only I could actually have that quality of photos for when I post pictures and stuff.
Thank you.
Holy crap.
Jeremy, he can't make his brown snakes black and white, so give it up.
Hey, you know what? Some of Nate's scaleless stuff looked exantic. I was going to say about if I kept my mouth shut.
It's just your color blindness, buddy.
Hey, as long as I see what looks beautiful with my color blindness, that's
absolutely.
all I can.
You can see red, right?
I can. Like, that's a goofy thing. I can see colors, no problem, but certain colors just don't show up. Like, my wife made fun of me, and she still does to this day. I had. Are you a fisherman at all, Nate?
I am, yeah.
Okay, then you'll know me. I had a St. Croix Mojo bass. Okay, fishing rod.
Yep.
I thought the thing was black. All right. We were out fishing one day. My wife looks at me. This was when we were first dating. She goes, "Why in the hell are you fishing with a purple rod?" I looked at her. I was like, "What in the hell are you talking about?" I was like, "There's purple writing on it." I was like, "It's a black fishing rod, though." She goes,
"No, that black fishing rod."
She goes, "No, Jeremy." I was, she goes, "Your fishing rod's purple." I'm like, "There's no way in freaking hell this thing's purple." Well, I asked like 3 other people. They're like, no, dude, it's a purple rod. Didn't you know? It's like, no, I thought it was black. So it's like I had a green Mazda RX-8. I thought was black. Everybody called it the Ninja Turtle car. And it aggravated me so much. I just flipped. I was like, why in the hell do you guys keep calling it the Ninja Turtle car? It's black. It's like, dude, it's freaking green. And they looked up on the door jam, which I didn't think about doing. They're like, look, right here. It's
green,
like,
dude.
oh. So it's just stupid stuff like that.
Wait a second, Jeremy. You're telling me you bought a green car?
Thinking it was black, yes.
Wow.
That is exactly what I'm telling you. Best thing is, I know I had to make mention of the color, and the salesman never corrected me.
He didn't want to lose the sale.
Yeah.
Probably not. He's like, I got this sucker. Morph Exotics is good info. Just hatched Banana Clown, head hypo, crossed with fire, scaleless head. Awesome.
Cool. Congrats.
From now on, I just have to say, from now on, nobody can ever verify a color for Jeremy because I want to see what the next thing he buys that is completely the wrong color.
It's a good thing. I've learned though, I never go shopping anymore without someone that can see colors. And I always ask to verify the colors before I purchase anything.
Smart.
Yeah, see, Phil's got it. You see black where we see brown. Exactly.
Got them pink undies every time he bends over.
All right, let's move on here to the next baby here.
All right.
Let's pull up. I've got this beauty here. Now this one, that's got to be super pastel.
Yeah, that's the one I thought was the super. Yeah, super pastel. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just look at that. Like, you guys will get to see the actual snake here in a second. Excuse me. But look at that color. Like, they're just drop dead gorgeous snakes. They really are, folks.
And that's why, people say, oh, the project's dead. What I've noticed with scaleless head animals is it definitely affects the pattern to some degree and the color as well. So it's not like it doesn't add something to the animals. That doesn't mean everyone has to go after producing scaleless, but that doesn't mean animals with scaleless head are worthless and aren't adding something to the morph pool, to the gene pool there as well.
Yeah. And that there clear as day. I mean, you can see it right there between the eyes. Kind of right there in between the black. That one is clear as day.
Yep.
Well, he likes the camera. You gonna cooperate at all, or?
You gotta love babies that got a little bit of spice to them.
Oh, that last one is real spicy.
See that one, it looks so clean. And I could be wrong. That's one where I thought Orange Dream might have popped. Super pastel with Orange Dream. And it's not super orange because it's a super pastel, but look how clean it is. The flames are extra. The back, how it's lifted up and pulled out that tail a little bit. To me, that one looked more like an Orange Dream tail potentially.
That definitely screams OD.
Yep.
100% screams OD.
And so that one might have almost got everything on that one there,
It might. I mean, I wouldn't put it past it being the all gene.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah.
And it's lighter. Fire would lighten it up as well. You're not deep orange because of the super pastel, and the fire is going to lighten that Orange Dream out a little bit as well. So I could see that being, yellow belly or gravel, super pastel, Orange Dream. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we thought. But it'd be gravel instead of asphalt. But yeah, same thing.
It's a pretty
beautiful animal though. But then here I'll bring the picture up of the head again for everybody. So there you go. There is baby number 2 of the scaleless head stuff. I mean, the next 2 examples I think have even bigger blotches of scaleless.
Yeah. And I was just happy because everyone said I wasn't producing scaleless with Orange Dream. And this also, for me, proved that I was personally, So that's something that I would thought was cool just for myself.
That's true.
I just realized I grabbed the wrong one based on that picture.
Uh-oh.
These 3, I have a hard time telling.
I didn't think her head was that white.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
That's it. It's all made
This
up.
one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's this one. I got confused by the little oop on the top of their head there.
Definitely super pastel firefly.
Yeah, I was thinking everything but Orange Dream on that one.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
The Orange Dream came in, cleaned it up, added a little more pattern to it on that last one. These
I
are
love
guesses.
the huge blotches of white going over it now.
Super cool.
All right. Yeah. Sorry about that. Just
No, you're
mixed
good.
up the three.
Those flames are about white on her.
Yeah, that's a beautiful animal. Yeah, Chris said he didn't see fire in the last one, but definitely in that
Yeah,
one.
it might not have had fire in the
Yeah.
last one. Hard to say. But that one, yeah, definitely lighter. And I don't think Orange Dream. Or it could be no fire. And I don't think so.
I think this
That
one
black
does
spot
have
in the
orange.
middle of her dorsal is cool. It's like darker.
I think this one might have some orange dream. The camera is not picking it up too well, but right in there is pretty orange.
Yeah, it almost just looks white in the camera.
Yeah.
Cameras never do snakes justice as much as it. Yeah, that's my big complaint with cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's definitely my favorite.
John says he agrees with Chris after seeing this one. You can definitely see it. All right, now the next one I'm going to pop up.
These two are really hard to tell apart.
I actually thought you sent me doubles. I'm not going to lie.
Understandably.
But that one there is clear as day. Like, looks like a freaking hole is in its head, basically.
You know what I always thought was cool to try to do, but the problem is you're gonna make a lot of like scaleless animals doing it. Would be trying to get really seeing if you could breed super high expression scaleless heads would be really cool because some of them look really wicked. So you still have a scaled animal, but like maybe almost like half their head is missing scales or something like that would be kind of cool.
See, that'd be a cool little thing to do. Now, is this the one that you had out before, or is this?
This is not the one I had out before.
Okay.
This is the one that looks exactly like the one that I had out before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I think the other one was a little cleaner with a little more orange.
Man, that's still a beautiful animal.
It's cool. Absolutely.
And like the striping with it.
See, I don't know. There it does look more orange. It's all where the camera has it and stuff.
I was gonna say, I think it's how
Yeah.
however the camera wants to auto adjust the colors and all that.
Those flames are wicked, though, no doubt.
So I'll pull up the picture one more time there for everybody. So there you can see the scaleless head on that one.
But in the end, what we're noticing here is the animals produced match the parents shown, you know?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's all combos that should have come from that pair.
The pairing that we're saying happened. And I don't know if he took his other two snakes and put them together, he would have been making these weren't really what you would pop out. Obviously, there'd be no scaleless head, but in addition, the morphs wouldn't line up either.
Yeah, you would have been making super pastel highways, you'd
have been making ivories, highways, and supers all completely.
Yeah.
There would be no non-supers if he took his other two snakes and paired them up.
So, and then here is.
So you'd almost, if you were going to fake it, you'd almost have to have the exact same female that the scaleless was, but be like a scaleless head or something, and then have them all hit scaleless head. Yeah, I don't know. Like it gets pretty deep to fake this thing out. You know what I mean? You'd have had to been planning this thing for years almost or something. I don't know how you would fake it when you get into all these details.
And here and on this one, I don't know if the other ones have it too, but everybody take notice as to the timestamp as well. I mean, these are recent pictures of these animals, so it's this is basically how these animals look right now. Plus, you're getting to see them here while Hunter holds them as well.
Yeah, that one's sick. I like that one personally.
I don't know if I could pick a favorite out of all these. In all honesty, like this was just a beautiful clutch, dude. Like completely knocked it out of the park for your first clutch. Completely knocked it out of the park.
So Hunter, what's your plan moving forward?
Grow with them. Yeah, sorry.
Honestly,
keep them or
I think for right now I'll be keeping them. I'm not set up to sell them or anything. I don't know if I will be in the near future or in the next like year or so.
Right.
As of right now, I'm just keeping them.
I'm guessing you haven't sexed them.
Not yet.
That was really intimidating for me when I first got going.
So after everything that's happened, Hunter, are you ready to stick with this, or are you ready to quit?
Honestly, it's kind of a mixed. I really like it, but it's been a mixed reception. So I don't know. I'll probably just keep doing it on the down low.
That's funny.
He's like, I'm not posting any more about anything.
Honestly, that's kind of at that point.
Yeah, it's a shame, and that was one of the things that bothered me more than anything. Is here's this guy starting out. You know, he's so excited, man, when he contacted, just super stoked, and I was so happy for him, and he wants to share. I'm like, can I share this on my Insta? And he's like, wait till I have a because that was other people's like, why'd you wait so long? Or oh, he has a brand new Instagram. Yeah, the dude just has 3 snakes. He didn't, you know what I mean? He didn't have an Instagram. Big freaking deal. He thought, hey, maybe I'll get some people wanting to watch these snakes grow or follow my scaleless animal since she produced eggs. So he wanted to have an Instagram before I shared it on mine. Simple as that. And it turned into, you know, something else, unfortunately.
Which I think, like, this community can be amazing. But this community also has a handful of jackasses that will run people out of town for the dumbest reasons. Yep. So, Hunter, I gotta say this. I'm a complete believer that obviously, you know, if I wouldn't have had you on here if I wouldn't have thought that this thing wasn't legit. Ignore all the idiots of this industry and hobby. Ignore them all. Because right now, what you've done is proved everyone that they've looked up to wrong. And right now, everybody's pissed. In my way of thinking, they're pissed that either if they were in the project and they got out, you just did something that proves that they made an idiot decision. So keep going with the route that you're going, dude. You've produced some amazing animals. This was a hell of a first freaking clutch, dude. Like, just pretty cool. Wow. I mean, not even just the fact that a scale is like an actual scaleless female giving you this clutch, but they're outstanding, beautiful babies.
Thank you.
So, I mean, keep it up, dude. Yeah, you're going to run into people that are going to say stupid shit and just ignore it. Because I went through, I think it was even yesterday, I went through reading messages. I don't know if it was on yours or if it was on Nate's. But I went through reading messages on some of them, and it's just like, what in the hell is like wrong with people? And like,
well, that's one of the problems with the internet. You know what I mean? You can say whatever you want to say and have zero repercussion in any way. You know, and it allows people to think they can just, you know, say whatever they want. And sometimes, you know, if you were in person and you were there looking at it, it wouldn't go that same way, unfortunately. You know.
And you guys all had said it perfectly. What did you really have to gain from this? If anything, what you gained was realizing that maybe you don't want to do this because of all this backlash you just caught for doing something that it was your first time doing it and you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you really had nothing to gain in, like, Nathan and Nate and I know that some aspects of the hobby and industry, I mean, they can become, you know, witch hunts, and everybody lines up with their torches and pitchforks. So it's, really, like, we look at it as, what did you really have to gain from this other than torches and pitchforks coming after you?
At this point, yeah, really.
I mean, it just, I'm happy for you, dude. I wanted to say that I'm very happy for you.
Yep. Congratulations, man.
The way that it did.
Thank you.
Because I mean, I even had people reach out, like when you had tagged me in the one post announcing you were coming on the live and stuff. There was somebody messaging me and asking, "Are you sure you want to have them all questioning the legitimacy of your show and this and that?" It's like I'm not like. I'm giving these guys a platform to share their story. And
when did your show have legitimacy?
They
missed the ball altogether.
You have to really lose.
They clearly don't know any of us very well. These people take things way too seriously.
Well, yeah, like they were saying, like, question, like, my integrity of my podcast. It's like, I do this for fun. Like, I love the community that I've got around me because everybody is great. That's like around, like everybody that's in the chat. They're here basically every week. There's just always those few people that are just the haters. And Creative Genetics says it right here perfectly.
Yep.
Yep. Talk to haters.
And that's what I said to Hunter. In the end, there's always going to be people. We had some really stuff. It would be like, well, you don't even have a lock. So we'd show a lock. Well, you don't have any other proof. Well, we have weights. Well, you don't have an ovulation. Sorry. No, he's new. Didn't catch it. And then one guy says, well, if you had a video of eggs popping out of this snake, I still wouldn't believe it. Because you can fake anything these days. It's like, well, that tells you everything right there. So if you don't want to believe it, that's fine. No issues. I mean, we don't need to hear from you every week, antagonizing us. That's fine. Go live your life. In the end, it's going to prove itself out sooner or later. Simple as that. Yeah. And I'm still happy to go through with testing. And I think it'd be a cool follow up to the story at some point. But you guys got to put the bucks up if you don't believe, because I'm ready to.
I was saying, with you putting your money where your mouth is, Nate, says a lot. And the fact that all these people that are questioning it, when you say, "Hey, let's do this,"
yep,
and they all go silent,
it's for a good cause. It's not putting it in my pocket.
Yep,
I don't need the money. I'll be honest. I'm doing pretty good. I'm willing to. The one guy was being such a dick. I kept raising the number. I think I got up to 5 G's, something like that. I was just so pissed off. I didn't know where to go from there. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go get my cash out right now. Who can hold this money? You know what I mean? Because I would love to see, there. Now shut up. You know what I mean? Put the money, give it to USARC. That's a good cause. But in the end, we can't pull more proof out of our ass. He didn't get a picture of the ovulation. He's a new breeder there. Yeah. Could there have been a few things done different? Absolutely. But it's not like we have nothing.
Well, who in their first time breeding has ever, no one's done it perfect. Most people kill their entire first clutch.
Yeah.
I never catch
to this day. I miss ovulations. I mean, come on. Yeah. It happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I miss most of my ovulations, mostly because I ultrasound.
I don't know who say they have a picture of every single ovulation of every clutch, let alone their first clutch. When you first breed and you put them together and you pray eggs pop. Come on.
Yeah, let's be honest, Hunter. Did you know what an ovulation was at that point?
Kind of. I knew it was a thing that was going to happen, but I didn't have the time scale down.
Gotcha.
Right. A lot of people, they'll know. Well, ovulation kind of sets a lot of your time scale up. So, but a lot. You didn't know.
And if you don't have the ultrasound and you're not good at palpating, you're not going to know when to look for it anyway.
Right.
I mean, there's a bunch of things that either skills or technology wise you need to have in order for you to even know when to even start looking for it. Morphic Exotics wants to know what the pairing was again, so I'll let you tell them Hunter?
Firefly, Orange Dream, Scaleless, and Pastel Highway. Male was the Pastel Highway. Female was the Scaleless.
Yeah. Creative Genetics says, dude, if you're having fun doing this, that's all that matters. Keep pushing forward, making cool stuff.
Thank you.
Phil says, laugh out loud, AI generator scaleless clutch. Aaron says, that's what I'm saying. If it's not a big dog, even a video of her laying them won't convince. And that's what's sad. Like, that's what's really sad. And
I never understood that. Because you have more experience, you can do something that other people can't. I honestly think breeding ball pythons is one of the easiest things you can do. I don't know about you guys. I don't think it's difficult, do you?
No, it's not hard at all. And if you once you start getting the tools, I mean, it makes it even freaking easier.
Right.
No, it's freaking cool, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's freaking badass that you're the first one that I know of to accomplish this. Now, here I'm gonna play devil's advocate slightly. Maybe someone else did it and they weren't brave or ballsy enough to come out and say
could
that
be.
They
Absolutely could be the case.
I honestly was right there. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. But that's the one thing, like, supposedly there was a picture, I don't know how many years ago, somebody posted a picture of a scaleless snake on eggs, and supposedly it was a fake or something like that. Well, I my question to that is, well, who was it? Where are they now? You know, things like that, because here we are. We said it happened. We didn't go anywhere. You know, we aren't a pretend person with a fake Facebook account. We didn't disappear when people said, no, you didn't. You know what I mean? Here we are. We're not going anywhere. We're telling you what happened. And if you don't want to believe it, that's fine. But we're not going to all of a sudden disappear and pretend like it didn't happen either. Exactly.
And that's, I think the big thing too is that, you know, in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, I expected there to be some haters in the group. So maybe there's some haters watching that are staying silent. I don't know.
I don't think they showed. They'll watch it later, perhaps.
Probably.
We'll share it up.
But I am like, you coming on here, you sending me all the proof, like you sent me all those vet records.
Yeah.
Like that, like, all right, I even told Nate this when we were talking before the live. It's like, unless you had like no life at all, and you had that much time to fake that many pages of records and
vet info,
all that, it's like there's no way in freaking hell anybody's going to go that deep into any of this. Yeah. Like, there's just no way.
I mean, and I don't know if you could have called the vet too.
Oh, that's true. Well, I didn't even think of that either. Which I
didn't
also
feel it was necessary. Most people, once they see it, are pretty convinced, and only the people that are looking for reasons not to believe it are going that deep. Let's be honest. They're looking for anything and anything, and as soon as you prove that wrong, they're on to the next. So there is no convincing somebody that has already made their mind up. Simple as that.
True.
Yeah. And the other thing is the verbiage of it. Like,
and you saw all the pages from the vet there. You know what I mean? There's like multiple pages of visits from the visits he had her over there. Yeah.
Aaron said with the other scale, someone did it on April Fool's Day. Okay.
Oh. So it wasn't actually somebody trying to. What that did is that also put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. You know what I mean? And then that came back to bite us a little bit in this situation as well.
Yeah, I do have to say, I think that you guys are onto something with the whole not doing the scaleless thing. Or scaleless, like having one aspect of it with nothing to do with scaleless at all. That might be the ticket. In all honesty, that might be where.
Yeah, maybe they can't produce eggs when the gene's on both sides. Very possible.
There's been dumber things that have popped up in the industry.
No, absolutely.
Completely dumber things have popped up.
These genes are pretty complex, man.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that shot the vet gave was something magical.
I told him we're lucky that it didn't kill off the eggs.
Right.
Like we always hear, you don't want to give injections to a snake that's pregnant and stuff like that.
Right.
What I always heard. So I couldn't believe that she actually laid, and then the snakes all came out normal, like not what I mean by normal. They weren't like freaks or anything like that. So I said, well, you lucked out on a lot of different aspects.
Yes, definitely killer clutch. Does anybody in the chat have any questions for Nate or Hunter? Give you guys a couple minutes here to, if you guys have any questions. Nathan, do you have any questions for these guys?
No, I mean, to me, this has been pretty straightforward. I mean, I think if I had the biggest thing for me is the vet record that shows the time frame and the amount of weight loss. So clearly, unless it had to really go to the bathroom or something, I mean, like you said, and it weighed a third of its body weight, it's probably not real likely. And to me, also, the weight corresponds with what a clutch that size, I think, would weigh. So it seems pretty realistic. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, I it's a shame that it all went down this way.
Yeah. John wants to know, Nate, do you have any scaleless big enough to breed, and are you going to try?
I actually have they're not out of my possession yet, but I've sold pretty much my entire collection. Like I was saying, I'm on my way out. The only two scaleless I have left in my possession are from last fall. So they're both small. So I sold all scaleless snakes. The one I was going to keep was from earlier, from the snake that Hunter purchased. So I don't have any scaleless snakes of any size right now. To play around with or anything like that. I actually have had a hard time keeping up with all the snakes I had. You guys probably might know KBK since they're sort of local and do the same shows. And he purchased somewhere around maybe 60, 70 snakes from me, something like that. And then the adults went around to other people as well. I still have a pretty cool Desert Ghost project that I just took a deposit on, which is getting super gravel, leopard super gravel Desert Ghost with a little bit of het cryptic mixed in there, which was my last one I was clinging on to. But I just took a deposit on that. I just don't have the time. My business, I have employees. It's pretty busy and it's doing really well. And was always someone that said, I'm never going to let the snakes, not be taken care of. And it was honestly getting to the point where I was staying up late at night, cleaning tubs and just wasn't enjoying it. And then I'm not going to lie, selling only enough snakes in this market to feed them wasn't really a huge positive for me right now either, when I do have, been putting effort into other places that are making me good money. But it wasn't all about the money, and I can't say I won't come back in because I do love the hobby, but I am a business person, and what I really loved about it was getting to spend time with something I really enjoy and making a little bit of money at the same time. I'm not going to lie, it was like a win-win, and I loved it, that aspect of it. So down to basically two scaleless, and they're both small.
Does anybody else have any questions? Give you guys a couple minutes. Like I had said earlier, next week's live will be Matt from Olympus Reptiles. Will be talking Xanthic stuff. Plus, he does some venomous stuff as well. He's got Carpal Python, so we'll be diving into all that good stuff. Week after that, we've got Chad from Richie's Recessives joining us, so that'll be a fun episode. I'm sure at some point we'll start talking nerdy stuff and get into Star Wars or something. But you guys know how I have my Star Wars addiction. Good question there, John. Can they see the mama?
Yeah, let me put the babies back and I'll grab the mom.
No, you're good. You're good. Take your time. While he does that, let's go through and say thanks to our sponsors one more time, since we're going to start wrapping this up. Because you guys know we got to give love to our sponsors, because without them, they help keep the wheels turning here. We've got Nathan of Infinite Possible Pythons, the Bang Daddy. He's banging the world, everybody. So get in line and get your bang. Sorry, Nathan. That one just kind of rolled real good. But he is the guy to go to, folks, if you do want to get into the Bang project, which let me tell you, that is one project that definitely has my interest. I do plan on adding that to the collection here in the near future, hopefully. And on top of it, he's working a bunch of other badass ball python projects. He's produced some urban camos, and he's got just a lot of awesome stuff popping out over there. So definitely check out his morph market. He's doing some scaleless corn snakes, Leachianus geckos, Kahua geckos, crested geckos. He's kind of got a little bit of everything going on over there. So definitely check him out. Check out his morph market. And he's your one-stop shop for all of your branding needs. So if you guys need backdrops for the shows, tablecloths, merch like shirts, business cards, all that stuff. The banners, even like Nathan's the guy to go to on that. Top quality stuff, great prices, folks. Definitely go hit Nathan up. Then we've got Chris at S Reptilia, which is your one-stop shop for all of your reptile needs, basically. If you need a ball python, boa, colubrid, blood python, Chris is the guy to go to. I know he's got some pine snakes on the ground that are hatching, some, pine snakes and bull snakes that are hatching. Folks, I don't know if you've ever seen them in person, but the colors of those snakes are absolutely fantastic looking. Beautiful animals. I do know he's got some blood python stuff on the ground as well, so definitely hit Chris up for that. If you're looking in the market and you need rats, Chris is an Eastern PA rat breeder, folks, so hit him up if you need rats. And he's also Pennsylvania's distributor of Cocoa to Go and the Chipper. So if you want to use the best cocoa substrate on the market, make sure you hit Chris up at S Reptilia. And we've got John and Christina Triforce Morse, everybody. They are a force to be reckoned with. If you can't find what you need at Triforce Morse, I don't know where to send you. Because they've got so many different genetic combinations that they're working with. They got a little bit of everything for everybody. They're really heavy in the Citron Clown Pied project as well, along with lace, all that good stuff. They've been in the game for 10 plus years, folks. So they know what the hell they're doing. So check them out. Like I said, they're a force to be reckoned with, folks. And last but not least, if you're not using Husbandry Pro, click our affiliate link in the description down below or scan this QR code, depending on what you're watching on. And get a free 30-day trial of the best reptile record-keeping and tracking software on the market. Husbandry Pro saves me so much time, and I love the amount of records it allows me to keep and the efficiency at which it allows me to keep those records. And if you sell a steak to someone that has Husbandry Pro, you can basically transfer that animal from your records into theirs, and they get everything that you allow them to see. So it's freaking amazing. It's revolutionary. Give it a shot. Try it out. Links are in the description for all the sponsors. And like I said, our affiliate link for Husbandry Pro is in the description as well. All right. Let me get rid of that. All right. And you've got Mama there.
Yep.
How big is she now? Do you know what her weight is?
I haven't taken a weight in the past couple of days.
She's been pounding, though. She looks nice.
Yeah, she's putting on weight again for sure, though.
She's a really good-looking scaleless snake.
I just like the transition with the pattern is just so smooth looking. Like it's mind-boggling. Like, I mean, they freak me out. Don't get me wrong. Like, to me, a snake needs to have scales, but they are very awesome and unique looking, and they definitely have some neat perks to
them.
Yeah. Nathan. Shoot. Yeah, Scott, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, bro.
I hate all of you.
We love you, Nate. We love you, bro. Balls and Golans, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Tara wants to know, Nate, if you're on Facebook or IG. I think you're on both. All of his links are in the description, Tara. And same with Hunter's. His Instagram link should be in the description as well too. Creative. It looks like it could be a VPI Xantic, not that TSK stuff. Now you're getting personal, creative. Now you're getting personal. No, that is a beautiful snake, though, Hunter. You definitely did a good job picking that one out.
I don't know how you picked the only one that would lay eggs. That was impressive.
Beginner's luck, Nathan. Beginner's luck.
I feel like I should go buy a lotto ticket.
You're right.
I don't even think you need to buy the lotto ticket because, my friend, you did hit the lottery. Like, man, I got I am still technically at a loss for words on it. I just think it's awesome. Yeah, actually, that's the one thing I did want to ask you. Are you going to try to breeding her this year again, or what's your thoughts?
I'm going to see what she gets up to weight-wise, but possibly.
What's she at now, right, currently?
Again, I haven't taken a weight in a few weeks.
Okay.
I was planning on just getting one. I was making an appointment for the babies to go to the vet to get them sexed because I don't know how to do it. So,
man, this vet must.
You got to find somebody close to you that can help you out there, man.
Yeah.
There's people everywhere. I wish you were closer to me, but yeah, I mean, we got to try to find this guy somebody out near Washington that can help him out. So show him how to do it in person helps, obviously. Have you watched videos? Or
I have watched videos. I understand it. I'm just not comfortable with it.
Yep. Understood.
There's nothing wrong with that either. And if you're not comfortable doing it, dude, there's nothing wrong with going and having somebody else do it. Because I mean, there for the longest time, I couldn't pop snakes to save my life, and even to this day, there's hatchlings where I'll pop them once, and they pop female for me, and it's always the females I try like 3 or 4 more times later throughout time, and then if throughout all those times, if I still don't get hemipenes, it's like okay, but every once in a while you'll get one that'll throw peens out at you. It's like aha. I knew it.
I've had a couple fool me. Yep, we all have.
I almost lost my whole carpet season because of that. Bought a female, never checked it, took the breeder at his word.
Oh man!
And was pairing, and needless to say, she was a he, and I was pairing 2 he's together. And
they weren't happy.
Well, that was the funny thing. They didn't fight.
Oh,
they would just laid with each other like you would expect a male and female to do.
Oh, weird.
Never locked. Yeah.
Huh. I don't have experience with carpets, but
needless to say, I figured it out. We got the problem solved. We got a carpet clutch on the ground, and
good job. That's awesome.
The babies are basically all gone. I kept 2 for myself. Nathan,
I always loved carpets.
Oh, dude, don't get me wrong. I love ball pythons. But ball pythons, the lights are on, and normally nobody's home. When you're working with the carpet, it's like I've always used it's like working with a velociraptor. Like they are thinking, the gears are always turning.
Yep,
always. Like
I love any arboreal snake. Like I had a green tree python. That thing was awesome. I had her for years. She was sick. She's kind of more in that range of what a carpet reacts.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, like they're all out there actually basically perched the exact same. But they're waiting, they want fed again, even though I just fed them last night. But like they get into these modes where they're just bottomless pits, it seems. But no, like they were all hiding yesterday and left some rats thaw out for like an hour in here, and they all came out right away, like within the first 10 minutes of the rats even being in here. They came out, got perched, and they knew exactly where the food's coming in at. Like they're sharp.
Yeah.
They were sharp animals.
Yeah, they're beautiful as well.
Yes. Oh my God, yeah. especially the one holdback dude that I have. Oh my god, I'll have to send you pictures of him there, Nate. He's like,
Yeah.
he had his second shed, and from his first shed to his second shed, what I was thinking he was gonna do, because I held him back thinking, okay, we're gonna either go for like I want to try to make an all black carpet, because the blacks on carpets are like a velvety black. They're just really awesome.
You're making the snake go to sleep, Jeremy.
Just shut up,
Get me
Nate.
a pillow, dude.
She literally yawned.
That's because there's nobody home. But like this thing, once it's shed, it completely went a slightly different direction. But oh my god, this thing makes my jaw freaking drop.
That's cool. Definitely send that over.
Creative wants to know, how hard is it to keep the scaleless?
I mean, it's more work than it is the scaled, but it's not too much. As long as your humidity is all right and you make sure you watch it while they're shedding, it's not that much different. You just have to really be on it during the shed.
Mm-hmm. I don't like to have, I don't like them to have big bowls either, because they're not the brightest and they will just sit in their bowl, and that's terrible for them, so they don't know they don't have scales.
That's true. I never thought.
You know what I mean? So they'll sit in a bowl just like a scaled animal. And if they do that for 24 hours, their skin will just, what happens to your finger when you stick it in water for 24 hours?
It shrivels up like crazy.
It shrivels up and it gets soft, and you could probably rip that finger right off, right?
I actually never thought about that, but yeah.
Yep, same deal.
Very good point.
So they don't know that. They'll sit and soak more than they should. So they shouldn't really have, in my opinion, they shouldn't have a large bowl.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Last call for questions.
I'm not going to jump in real quick, guys. I got to run. But it was great meeting you guys, and good luck with everything, Hunter. And
nice meeting you. Thanks.
Definitely keep us in the loop. It's interesting to see how they grow up.
Will do.
Definitely keep posting updates. Nathan, thank you so much, dude, for co-hosting.
Anytime. Thanks for having me. We'll talk soon, guys. Take care.
Later, bro.
Yep.
Creative wants to know, do they shed more?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. It's probably like once a month, once every, roughly is what I'm at right now. Once every 4 weeks, probably. I think she's starting to go into shed right now. I'm not sure how well it's going to pick up but her eye is a little glazed over. So I think she's getting ready.
At least my experience when I had her, she wouldn't finish a shed and instantly start another one. She would, I can't say for your experience with her, but she would wait several weeks usually before she started going into shed, where some of them will almost get out of shed and start going into shed again almost immediately.
That's now maybe you can't explain, but why? Because essentially, I mean, if you slap scales on it, that's the exact same thing as a scaled animal. Only so why do they shed so much more?
Well, the thought process is any little nick or injury in a snake, that's kind of how they heal themselves. So anytime something happens a tiny bit abnormal or something could trigger a shed. And if she's shedding more for Hunter, that maybe, and I'm not going to tell him what to do, but having a lot of stuff in the enclosure could actually trigger more sheds, because if she's running over something and scratches herself or something like that, that could trigger a shed to start.
That's actually something I didn't think of. That's a good point, though.
Yeah.
Very, very good point. Well, guys, it seems like nobody in the chat has any questions. I appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out, telling us the story, because this was one thing that I'm glad that I got to be a part of, to bring you guys on, let you guys tell your story about all this, because this is revolutionary. It's groundbreaking in the industry. Even if people don't freaking believe it, dude, you did something no one else has ever accomplished so far that we know of anyway. So congratulations, Hunter. I hope you
Thank
keep
you.
up with it. Creative says, I wonder if there's any correlation to the desert ghost weather like ABCD gene. That's actually, I
It's
mean, it
another
could.
possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I guess until you start diving into it, I mean, you never know. I mean, how you figure we've been breeding DGs for how long, and we just now have this whole new news. Emily says she's so excited. Thanks for tuning in, Emily. New face, always great to see new people in the chat. If you're new to the channel, everybody, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up, please, for me as well. I'm dropping videos every Wednesday as a normal video, and every Sunday we are here doing a live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come on out and hang out with us. It's always a good time. Normally we've got good guests. Every once in a while, you guys got to deal with my ugly mug for a whole night or whatever. But normally, I get somebody to come on and just kind of sit around and shoot the shit for a little while. Greg, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, bro. Tuning in from Daytona. Nice. David says, awesome, Hunter. Good luck with the project. Jeremy, Nathan, thanks for sharing. Good night, everybody. Have a good night, David. Greatly appreciate it.
Good night.
Thank you.
Like I said, Hunter, congrats, dude. Keep up with it. The hell with the naysayers. Just, keep going your own path. You've got some awesome people surrounding you. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to hit me up. You've got my IG and stuff.
Thank you.
Nate, dude, it was great. It was a pleasure to meet you, man. We definitely gotta. I was hoping you would have made it to the barbecue because Phil said you were going to try to make it, and then I guess just didn't line up or whatever.
Yeah, I had family stuff going on, but I appreciate the invite. I'll do everything I can. I would have loved to hang with you guys. Absolutely.
Hey, there's always next year, bro. Always next year.
Right.
Plus, you're not that far from me anyway. So one of these days, maybe we can just meet up and hang out, or where you come over here and we can check some shit out or something.
Yeah, man, I'd be cool with that.
But hang on here one second, guys. I'll wrap this up and then we'll go backstage. But everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate all the love and support. Next week is Matt from Olympus Reptiles, so make sure you guys tune in for that one. That's going to be a fun one. We're going to be talking Xanthics, carpet pythons, and he's got some venomous stuff, so we'll dive a little bit into the venomous stuff as well, because that's another thing freaks me out just solely because my ass would get bit. Hands down, I know my luck. My ass would get bit. John says, snakes look great. Good luck with the project. Hope you do it again and all the haters will disappear. I totally, dude, yeah. Like, I'm anxious to see you do this, see if she won't breed for you again, and see how you make out with that. Like, I really hope you do it. And that's going to be it, everybody. I hope you guys all have a great night. Have a great work week. Don't do anything stupid. Stay safe. We'll catch you next time. Later.